Hello, good evening, everyone. Thank you for being here and thank you for joining us for tonight's webinar entitled Why Moms Can Become Great Investors. So before we start, I'd like to get to know each one of you dahil for sure you sacrifice something for you to be able to attend this seminar. So maybe you can introduce yourself. Example, good evening, good morning, or good afternoon kung saan man kayo nanonood. For example, hi, I'm Ai. I'm a mom of 2 with 5 years old and 3 years old, watching from Parañaque. Ayan. Baka kayo, you can introduce yourself so that I can say hi to majority of you. Ayan. O, may isang single mom na from Cavite. Hi, Marilyn. A mom of 1 from Cebu. Good evening. Good evening to all of you. Sige, keep them coming while I prepare for for our session for tonight. Hello, hello, hello. I saw one message kanina, if we can invite more. Alam nyo yung mga last minute na yan. Yan ang mga pinaka-memorable. So if I can ask one panelist to just put on the chat yung link kung saan pwedeng ipasa doon sa mga gusto pang humabol. Ora mismo, ilagay natin dyan. Ayan. I'll request one panelist lang, please, to send that link to the chat. Ayan ako. Sige, basahin ko na. Mom, hi, Maria Teresa, mom of 4, Antipolo, si Rizli. Wow, ang dami. Mom of 4 din. Isang mom of 1 from Tondo, si Kimi. May taga Samar, may taga Dubai, may taga Bulacan, Rizal, Santa Rosa, Tinambak, kung saan man yun. Oy, may taga Singapore, may taga Imus, watching from India. Hello, good evening. Watching from Palawan, from Lipa, Batangas, from Riyadh, KSA. Nakakatuwa from Bukidnon, Caloocan, from Oman, from Naga City, Davao City, Nueva Vizcaya, Angeles. Hello, hello from San Mateo, Rizal. Hello, hi. Ayan. So there's a link sent sa chat. You can send that to your friends who would like to listen and maybe would like to learn more on how they can start investing or how they can prepare for their family and for their future, themselves. Hello, hello, ayan. Sige lang, mag-message lang. Ay, maglagay lang kayo ng messages dyan sa chat. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Mai Lobaton. Hello. And I'm the head of COL Premium. You can follow me at I am Super Mai and my social media accounts. And just like everyone, I'm a mom. Yes, I'm a mom of 2. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old. Ayan. And my reason or my meaning or my why, because my why in investing is became stronger because of these 2 kids. 'Di ba? Kung ikaw ay isang nanay, makaka-relate ka sa akin. Why? Kasi mahirap mag-isip ng maraming bagay, lalo na pag may kailangan kang alagaan, 'di ba? And I would like to dedicate this presentation to all of you are moms, so I'll be addressing this to all the moms who are joining us tonight. Ayan. And if you have questions along the way, please do enter all your questions sa Q&A tab. Okay? Hindi po sa chat, kundi sa Q&A tab. We will accommodate and we will try our best to answer all your questions via the Q&A tab. Okay? Anytime yan, you can do that. Enter all your questions via the Q&A tab anytime. Okay? And our panelists, our beautiful team, we will try our best to answer them as soon as we can para at least ma-address na namin yung mga tanong nyo along the way. So, simulan na natin dahil ang mga nanay, marami pang gagawin, di ba? Marami pa tayong kailangan asikasuhin afterwards. That's why I'll make this short, brief, direct so that all of us will be able to have a glimpse of how we can actually start investing, pero yung mga different investments that we will talk about, meron pang mas malalim na seminar for us to be able to understand and know all the details about it. But don't worry, papasadahan natin yan lahat. So diretso na natin. Why are moms good investors? Diba? How can all of us moms maximize our being a mom, 'di ba? In terms of investing. Ayan. So sagutin na natin 'yan ngayon. I will share with you 3 characteristics of moms or mothers that are good characteristics or good strategies. Yan, strategies that we can use na kailangan for us to be able to become an effective investor. O, simulan na natin para at least maintindihan nyo kung ano yung gusto kong sabihin. Okay, first and foremost, ang mga nanay, moms think ahead. Tama ba? Moms think ahead. Pag sinabi mo, naalala ko noon, pag sinabi mo, Mom, next week, lalabas kami, pupunta kami may outing kami ng barkada ko. Noon, before I got married. Okay, oo lang siya, pero day before or day itself, lagi yan may pabaon. Naisip na niya, meron niyang pabaon. O, nagdala ka ba ng ganito? O, wag mong kakalimutan. Dapat meron kang tubig. O, baka umulan na, magdala kayo ng Marami yang bilin. Bakit? Kasi naisip na niya anong posibleng mangyari. And that's a very good trait of moms. Why? Kasi as an investor, dapat ganun din tayo, no? We think ahead. We think far. We think long-term. And we think of what can happen or kayang pwede doon. Pero sige, tingin tayo ng malayo. Huwag tayo masyadong malali. Pero let's prepare on what we can foresee and then maximize that opportunity to do it now para we get to prepare ourselves in the future. And that's one very good characteristic of a mom dahil pag nag-i-invest tayo, dapat malayo din ng tingin natin. Dapat long-term din. Dapat hindi tayo matakot na sa mga usual na volatilities because now that you are here attending a COL financial webinar and we're talking about stocks, syempre medyo nakakatakot din yan, di ba? Because that's our perception on the stocks. And yes, it is volatile. Yes, nakakatakot siya. But if we think long-term, if we do it long-term, we'll be able to maximize the returns. We'll be able to see na, pang long-term nga ito, hindi to pang short time lang. Why? Kasi pag short lang yan, since it's very volatile, we won't be able to maximize our investment. And talking about long-term, let me inform you that number one, kung long-term na lang din naman ang usapan, hindi mo rin pa rin naman mag-guarantee. Diba? Hindi mo pa rin mag-guarantee ang mangyayari in the long term. So, same with investments, let's say in stocks, I cannot guarantee returns. No one can guarantee returns, but we can use the historical performance on how it performed years ago, and maybe, just maybe, it can also give a good return on how it was before. And based on history, this is the 15-year annualized return from 2005 to 2019. Kung makikita nyo, the stock market gave an average of 10.2 return. Ayan, average yan. Hindi ibig sabihin all throughout 10%. Pwedeng negative 15, pwedeng positive 20, depende. Pero average, 15-year, 10.2. If you put your money in the bank, let's say a time deposit or a savings account, it only give an average of 2.4 to 2.3. 2.3 to 2.4. Pwede na, may interest pa rin. Pero usually, ang benchmark natin on saying that it has a good return is that you compare it to the inflation rate. The inflation rate of the Philippines, actually average niyan 3 to 5%. Pero based on history, it gave the average inflation rate of the Philippines was 3.8. So if you compare your money in the bank to inflation, meaning ang inflation rate pagtaas ng presyo ng mga bilihin, compare that to your money in the bank, kulang yung kinita natin dun sa bangko. Kasi nagmahal na lahat, pero yung kita, hindi man lang niya nahigitan or natapatan man lang yung inflation rate, lugi. Diba? Lugi tayo kasi, mahal lahat. So, mahihirapan tayo lalo for us to be able to manage our expenses or to be able to survive or make our money grow. Why? Kasi mas mabilis yung inflation rate kaysa dun sa pagtaas ng presyo, pagtaas ng growth ng ating investment sa bangko. But if you put that, let's say into stocks that give an average of 10.2, bawas mo yung inflation rate, still you have a 6% 6% profit. Therefore, sulit yung investment. But take note, 2005 to 2019, mahabang panahon. So, kailangan pa nag-i-invest, mahabang panahon. Malayo ang tingin. Para hindi tayo maging emotional sa mga pangyayari at mga crisis na pwedeng maka-apekto sa stock market. Pero okay lang yan, kaya natin yan. Kasi moms, di ba? Moms think ahead. Therefore, simple na lang yan. Kaya yan. Sige, long term pala eh. Okay, fine. Kayang-kaya yan. First trait of an investor. And also, isa pang bagay. When we think long term, lalo na kung mag-i-invest tayo sa stock market, ang maganda dito, we're able to maximize the power of compounding. Bakit? Kasi itong power of compounding, when you put your money, let's say 50,000 now, put that money invested in the stock market, ang compounded, usually kasi sa bangko, 50,000, i-interesan lang yan yung capital, which is 50,000. Yun lang yung interesan ni bangko. Pero here, in the stock market, compounded interest. Meaning, let's say, let's use the 10.2 return based on history. Okay, based on history, we'll use a 10.2. You earn interest of 10.2 dun sa 50K mo. It will be reinvested as part of your capital. Next interest, next year, another 10.2, pero hindi lang sa 50K, dun sa na-interesan na. So you earn interest on interest on interest. It's like a snowball effect, but lumalaki ng lumalaki, paangat ng paangat, and look, if you can take a look on this graph, yan. From yung 50K mo, from year 0, 30 years from now, can reach almost 1 million. Why? Because of the power of compounding. Paano kung hindi ka long-term mag-isip? Paano kung 6 years lang? Paano kung 8 years lang? Maikli siya masyado and hindi mo siya hindi pa, tinan mo, kung titingnan nyo yung 0 to 10, gradual pa lang eh. Gradual pa lang ang increase. But if you extend that into a longer period of time, let's say 20 years, 30 years, you'll be able to see an exponential growth because of the power of compounding. That's why thinking long-term, thinking ahead is very good. Why? Because it shows na, okay, when you think ahead, you'll be able to maximize the power of compounding. That's the first trait. Second trait, ayan, why moms are good investors. Moms are very hardworking. Wala akong kilalang nanay na tamad. Kayo din ba? Hindi ako naniniwala. Yan, hindi ako naniniwalang may nanay na tamad, 'di ba? Ang nanay kahit sabihin niya na pagod na siya, hindi pa rin niya maiiwasang hindi magwalis. Hindi maglinis ng kusina at kahit sabihin niyang pagod na siya, magluluto at magluluto pa rin yan for the family. Kayo din ba yon? If nakaka-relate ka, sabi mo, ako yon. Ayan. Diba? Kahit sabihin natin gusto ko magpahinga, gusto ko magbakasyon, pero pag pinabakasyon ka na at pinapahinga ka na, hindi ka pa rin mapakaling walang ginagawa. Nag-a-agree ba kayo? Kung nag-a-agree ka, chat mo naman, ako yon. Ako yon. I can relate to that one. And this very good trait of a mom, of being hardworking, shows that we are consistent. That we are, we keep on moving, di ba? So that being consistent also can help us in becoming a very good investor. Kasi what we teach in COL is you have to be consistent rin in terms of your investing. Kanina sa example natin, yung 50K, one time, big time mo lang yan nilagay. Sige, kalimutan na natin. Pero paano kung dagdagan pa natin siya? And what we encourage everyone is to do or follow the peso cost averaging strategy. Ito, lagi namin itong sinasabi. Bakit? Kasi kung meron ka namang small amount that you can set aside each month, might as well invest it. And this peso cost averaging strategy involves investing a fixed amount of money at regular intervals over a period of time by investing it in either in mutual funds or stocks. Example, set aside 5,000 each month. Monthly natin gagawing mag-invest. And maybe for 1 year, let's do that. I'll choose maybe equity index fund. And as you can see, ang movement kasi ng investments, it varies eh. It changes, di ba? Pag mutual fund, each day may bago yan. Ang stocks naman, each second, nagbabago yung presyo. So regardless kung mahal o mura, kahit umangat man yan, okay lang. Bakit? Kasi fixed amount tayo sa 5,000. As you can see, this yellow line, it shows the average cost of buying everything. Kasi itong blue na to, ito yung movement ng presyo. So kung bumili ka ng month 1, mataas. Bumili ka ng month 2, bababa. Bumili ka ng month 3, medyo dito sa gitna. Nag-average siya. And long term, sa peso cost average, long term, if you compare the average cost to the current market price, hindi mo itong difference na to, yung difference na yan na yun mismo yung profit mo. O example, ito lang yung example ng ating strategy. Pero paano kung in-apply natin siya? Totoo bang may profit? I-apply natin siya sa Philippine Stock Exchange Index. That's the index of the stock exchange. If you follow that cost averaging strategy from 2012 to 2019, tingnan niyo itong yellow naman ng movement. Baliktad naman, ito ng movement yan ng ating index, yung cost mo of buying each time, tingnan niyo, hindi na ganun kataas. Nagiging stable na siya. And that difference, that's already your profit. Galing, no? Being consistent also is a good trait of becoming a good investor. And when you combine long-term, becoming a long-term investor and being consistent as a long-term investor, ito over time, you'll become a multi-millionaire with the power of compounding and being consistent. So for example, you invest 1,500 each month. Potential return in 20 years, you get 1 million. Paano kung kaya mong 5,000? In 20 years, you get 3 million. Paano kung kaya mong 8,000? In 20 years, you get 5 million. Paano kung kaya mo pang ilagay yung bonus mo? Paano kung kaya mo pang ilagay yung mga monetary gifts nyo? Maybe not in 20 years, maybe in 10 years, you become a multi-millionaire. Why? Because you are consistent and you also, you maximize the power of compounding. Galing, di ba? 2 traits pa lang yon. Now, I will share with you the third one. Ayan. Ang mga moms naman ay resourceful. Ang pinaka very good example ng na to. Very good example naman itong resourceful. Naalala nyo noon, pag may homework or may project ang ating mga anak, sasabihin talaga nila yan the night before the deadline. Always. The night before the deadline. Sabihin nila yan. Pero anong gagawin natin? Una, magagalit tayo. Pero pangalawa, gagawa natin ng paraan. We are very resourceful. We find ways. Saan nga ako makahanap nito? Saan ako makakabili? Ano yung pinakamura? And what I love about moms, sa isang palengke, hindi ka lang may isang suki. Marami kang suki. Bakit? Kasi naikot mo na yung grocery or naikot mo na yung supermarket. Alam mo na kung ano may pinakamura at pinakasulit na brand ng ganitong item. Tama? Nakaka-relate? So we are very resourceful. We are very wise in making decisions. And we don't just trust one. We trust a lot. And we learn how to, hindi lang isa, dapat may backup, dapat may plan B. Marunong tayo mag-diversify. Bakit? Kasi mahirap kung isa lang. Paano kung magloko yan? Dapat makaisip tayo, sino pa yung kakilala mong tubero? Sino pa yung kakilala mong electrician? Hindi lang isa yung kilala natin. Halos buong kapitbahay kilala natin. Why? Because that's how resourceful we are. We believe in the power of, sige, dapat lahat ma-maximize. And that being resourceful can also help us in our investment kasi it can help us understand diversification. Now, why do we teach diversification? Because we believe you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Ba, as moms, wais tayo. Ayaw mo ng isahan lang. Bakit? Kasi baka malugi. Doon tayo sa different investments, tingnan natin alin dito yung mas okay. Then we compare everything. Yan. And you can also gauge then what kind or how you see yourself as an investor for you to be able to understand what works for me. You have to know na ano bang klaseng investment ang kasi hindi naman lahat para sa iyo eh. You have to also choose what will work for you and what you like or what interests you or you think that it can work for you. So let me also describe the different types of moms. Baka kayo din ito, ayan, pwede din kayong mag-type dyan na, ako yon, ayan. Baka ikaw ang isang practical mom. May marami akong kilalang mga practical mom. Sila yung parang, simple lang basta yung all-in na. Yung wala na akong iisipin, yung alam ko, okay yan, tapos all-in na. All-in-one, yun. Kumbaga, all-in-one na shampoo at conditioner na yan. O kaya naman, laundry soap with Fabcon na yan. Para, isa na lang yung bibilhin ko. Yun ang practical mom. Or you can also be an active mom. Ang active mom naman na, hindi, gusto ko hiwalay. Gusto ko yung may shampoo na may ganitong aspeto. Tapos gusto ko yung conditioner na may ganitong, yan. Yung willing to check on the details, willing to take more risk. May time kang aralin lahat ng mga bilihin sa grocery. Why? Because you're like that. Baka may oras ka gawin yon or you're particular with that. O gusto mo maximize yung investment mo, ikaw tong active mom. Ako, mga 50% active mom ako. Mga 40 to 50%. Practical mom din ako ng mga 30%. Ayan. Or you can also be this patient mom. Ang patient mom naman, basta maganda yung kita. Basta hindi ko naman kailangan yung pera ko, lalagay ko sa isang investment na malaki yung kita, tapos okay na, saka ko na siya titingnan ulit. Basta dapat nag-work siya and it can give good returns. Hindi ko na hindi ko na akong time magbantay. Willing akong iwanan niya at maglagay pa unti-unti, basta good returns yan in the long run. Patient mom naman yun. So if patient mom ka, nako, ayan, ito yung mga different in types of investors na nanay na pwede nating hanapan ng investment ng investment that can fit them. Okay? So kayo, you take a look on this one. I'll give you a few more seconds. Maybe tindi mo, practical mom ba ako, active mom ba ako, o patient mom? I will share with you the 3 different investment options. Tapos i-match natin siya kung anong klaseng investment ang okay kay practical mom, kay active mom, or kay patient mom. Pero majority ng mga kakilala ko, practical at patient. Kasi ang dami natin iniisip, di ba? So, hanapin natin yan and maybe some of the investment options that I will share with you can enlighten you or can give you an idea na, okay, pwede nga pala to. Sige, aralin natin yan further. So, these are the 3 investment options for moms that we can consider. Diba? Hindi pwedeng isa lang, pwedeng lahat. Depende sa inyo. Sa klase ng investor, sa klase ng pagiging nanay nyo. Ayan. So we'll talk about common shares, we'll talk about mutual funds, and we'll also talk about real estate investment trusts. Now, let's talk about common shares. Common shares are also called stocks, generally known as common stocks, kasi usually yan, common stocks or common shares or shareholder, yan. It's an investment that represents ownership of a company. This is the initial product of COL Financial. We are an online stock brokerage firm. Therefore, yung mabibili mo, noon pa to stocks lang. Yung mga publicly listed companies, yun lang ang makikita mo sa ating platform. Pero yaan nyo, marami na tayong investment options. Itong stocks na to, hindi lahat ng kumpanya ay publicly listed company. For them for their shares to become public, they usually undergo this initial public offering. Meaning, kumbaga, mag-aartista na sila. Mag-aartista na isang kumpanya, therefore, ang shares niya will be available to the public. Public will be able to buy those shares through a brokerage. Once they buy those shares, magiging co-investor ka, co-owner, business partner. So therefore, itong si kumpanya, since marami na akong partners, whatever happens to the company, happens to them, di ba? If the company earns, the shareholder also earns. If the company loses, ganun din yun. Okay? So you are a co-owner of a company. And stocks are, these investments best fit the active mom and the patient mom. Okay, why? Because we'll discuss that in a while. So how do you earn if you have common shares? Diba? If you invest in common shares, how do you earn? You earn in two ways. First, through price appreciation. Second, through dividends. Price appreciation, meaning pag binili mo siya ng IPO, lumaki siya, nag-grow siya, maraming joint ventures, maraming projects, doon mo mapapansin na, nag-grow siya. Example, si Wilco, nung IPO price, 5.05 per share noong 2017. Current price as of, this is I think yesterday, I fixed this. It went up already to 27.15. Ang tanong, kumita na ba tayo? Yes, kumita na tayo if you sell the Wilcon shares. If you don't sell the Wilcon shares, it's just paper profit. Okay? So yung kunyari, yung 5.05 times, let's say, 1,000 shares, yung 27, i-multiply mo sa 1,000, edi yun na yung total market value na ng iyong investment. That's just one, price appreciation. Second is through dividends. So example, si Metrobank naman, kung makita mo, ito sabi niya, type of security, common, dividend, cash. So magbibigay siya ng cash dividend. Magkano? 3 pesos per share. Kung ikaw ay may 100 shares, 3 pesos times 100. You get 300. Pero if you total, meron pa siya, may piso pa siya. Meaning, total cash dividends niya, 4 pesos per share noong 2021. Wow! Malaki to ha. Paano kung meron kang 1,000 shares? 4 times 1,000, 4,000 na dividends. And this will be given to you via cash. So it's extra cash. 'Di ba? Instead of lumaki pa, yung nag-appreciate pa yung presyo niya, binigyan ka pa ng cash ni common shares. Yun ang example. Now, why invest in stocks? Bakit maganda siyang investment? First, you partner with companies with small capital requirement. Meaning, hindi mo kailangan magtayo na isang Jollibee para ikaw ay magkaroon ng isang Jollibee store, di ba? For you to become a co-owner, you just need the current price, and the minimum board lot of that company. Yun lang yung kailangan mo. Minsan, makakabili ka ng 2,000 pesos. You can partner with companies with 2,000. Some, you can use 1,000 pesos. Depende. Okay? Depende siya sa company. It has no holding period, meaning if you buy now, you change your mind after 1 week, you can sell it. You can sell it and you can get the funds immediately. And historically, it can give better returns than other investment options. Now, take note, not all stocks can give good returns. That's why you have to also consider a company that has these criteria. We call this gems. Dapat alam mo to, dapat naiintindihan mo na okay, dapat pala growing sila, dapat earning, dapat may credibility, of course, diba? We have to understand that this a company has good name, it has a good product and service that you also believe in, and it has a strong balance sheet. Why? Kasi if hindi mo papansinin to at sige, kung ano na lang yung nakikita ko doon, hindi ko na maintindihan, dapat naintindihan natin lahat. And these criteria, yan sana we consider. And don't worry, because with us, diba, in COL, we consider all of these already, and we will recommend you stocks na check na namin tong 5. Yan. So kung tatanungin niyo kung anong shares or anong stocks ang okay, don't worry, meron kaming recommended stocks for you. That's the first one, common shares. Now let's go to mutual funds. May nakita lang ako dito. Ayan, sige, mamaya na lang natin siya pala pag-usapan. Ayan, okay. Next, mutual funds. Mutual funds naman, ito naman yung parang all-in-one package product with different investments inside it. So, kunwari ako may pera akong 5,000, hindi ko naman mabibili lahat ng kumpanya. Paano kung gusto ko bumili ng isa sa consumer, isa sa banking, isa sa telco, isa sa power? Hindi magkakasya yung 5,000 ko. But if I will input that 5,000 into mutual funds, I'll be able to buy those companies in one package. And this mutual fund, usually hindi na tayo mag-iisip kasi it is managed by fund managers, meaning si fund manager, isipin na niya ano yung mga pinakamagagandang stocks na ipupool natin together in a fund. People will just buy that fund or mag-chip in sa fund para yon mas lumago, mas malaki yung mai-invest natin. Fund manager na, trabaho na ni fund manager yon to think about that one. And there are different types of mutual funds, the money market fund, the bond fund, balance fund, equity fund, and equity index fund. These funds, initially, locally lang yan invested. But recently, some of the funds that are introduced by the fund companies, meron ng globally invested. Di ba? Meaning, minsan napapaisip ko, paano nga ba mag-invest abroad? Parang hirap naman kasi maghahanap ka pa ng broker. Pero sa mutual funds offered by some of the fund houses, you can put your peso already in that fund. Yung fund na yan, sila nang bahala mag-invest globally. Mutual funds is best fit for a practical mom. Bakit? Isang practical mom who wants an all-in-one package, mutual funds is good for them. I can talk about mutual funds the whole night, but there are a lot of details that we have to consider. Don't worry kasi meron kaming mga webinars that can discuss in detail these mutual funds. Okay? But mutual funds are good investments. Why consider mutual funds? Because, of course, it's a diversified investment already. Okay? So meaning yung risk mo has lower risk already kasi it's diversified, divided na siya into the assets inside the fund. Tapos the fund manager will invest for us, will do all the thinking, the research for us. Therefore tayo, sige, pasok na lang tayo ng investment, and it's very affordable kasi majority of the funds, ang minimum lang yan ay 1,000 pesos. O, di ba? If you have 4 kids and you want to start an investment for your 4 kids, you can open 4 accounts for those kids, in trust 4 accounts, tapos tigwa 1,000 lang. May mutual fund na sila, may investment na sila. O, di ba? Panalo yan for the practical mom. What are the things we have to consider if once we invest in mutual funds? First, you have to know the assets, di ba? You have to know, saan nga ba nag-i-invest to si mutual fund na ito or si fund house na ito? Don't worry dahil ang mga fact fund sheet, available yan on the website. Makikita mo, okay, dito niya in-invest. Ito pala yung ito, ganito, gets ko na kung saan niya pinasok at bakit niya dito pinasok. Second, you have to consider as well the fees dahil meron yung management fee and early redemption fee. Ano to mga fees na to? The fact na sila nang gumagawa for us, of course, they will charge a small amount. So, para sa'yo, kung mag-charge yan, let's say, 1%, sayang, di ba, kung yung 1% nakita na yon sa'yo na napunta, kailangan mo pa ibayad sa kanya. So, you have to consider na, baka malaki yung fee compared to the rate of return. So, compare nyo rin yan. Also, you have to know the holding period. Some funds, hindi siya tulad ng stocks na anytime you can liquidate. Some funds, you have to hold it at a certain period of time. You cannot sell it. Why? Because you have to pay early redemption fee. Yun. Okay? And of course, you have to check the historical performance. Dapat may good track record yan. Okay? At pagalingan ng mga fund managers dyan. And you can compare all those funds sa COL fund source dahil makikita mo yan in one table. Kung sino doon yung nagbigay ng good return, sino dito ang less management fee, mako-compare nyo yan lahat. And we also have a seminar for that one para maintindihan nyo lahat ng details about mutual funds. So mutual funds are like parang sumakay ka ng bus, di ba? Naki-carpool ka or naki-sakay ka Pero yun nga, minimal lang, pero medyo, may different, ano rin siya, considerations. Yan. And last investment that we will talk about are REITs. REITs are Real Estate Investment Trust. Ito naman, it's a company that holds real estate assets with recurring rental income. And this is best fit for the practical mom and the patient mom. Itong REITs na to, bago lang to. Actually, it's very good. Why? Kasi kung ikaw ay isang mahilig ka sa real estate. Di ba, real estate usually para ma-maximize mo yung kita mo dun sa real estate business mo, kailangan marami kang properties. Kailangan lahat yon may tenant at kailangan lahat yon nagbabayad consistently. So these REITs, meron tayong sponsor company. Si sponsor company, meron niyang mga assets. Diba? Meron siya mga real estate assets na pinaparenta niya. Tapos yung mga nakukuha niyang profit doon, binibigay niya sa kanyang shareholders. And this is the current list of our REITs. We have the A-REIT, PhilREIT, M-REIT, RCR, C-REIT, and DDMPR. Ayan, meron pang maglilist na isa pang REIT in the coming weeks. Ayan, so ito yung mga different listed REITs. Ayan, now why consider REITs? Because 90%, at least 90% of the net earnings will be given out as dividends to its shareholders. Meaning, how do you earn in REITs? Ang REITs, hindi siya more on price appreciation, more on dividend siya. Kasi ang based on how you see the rules of REITs, how you earn from that one, kasi since rental yan, regular yan, dapat 90% dyan, lahat ng shareholders makakakuha. So kumbaga, mas makikita mo yung kita mo, mas makikita mo yung kita mo through dividends, hindi doon sa paglaki ng presyo ng REITs. And it's a very affordable way to invest in real estate if you're into that. Ako, kung mag-open ka ng real estate business, kailangan ko pa bumili ng property. Ito, you partner with the sponsor company already. Why? Because they own majority of the buildings, the properties, the lands, and they're able to do that business already. So partner with them, di ba? Good investment yan. Now, what are the things we have to consider when we choose REITs, di ba? Number one, you have to check the assets inside the REIT. Ano ba yan? PEZA accredited ba yan? Okay ba yung occupancy rate? Meron ba dyang recurring contract para at least hindi sila nawawalan ng tenant? You can also, please also consider number one, dividend yield. Maganda ba ang bigay niya nung 90% ng dividends na usapan? Diba? Dapat magandang yield yan. Kasi kung 1.5 lang, 2 lang, compare that to inflation. Sulit ba? Oh, you have to compare. And also, look into the sponsoring company. Check on the assets and check on the reputation and performance of that sponsoring company. So let's compare the three investment options for us. Yan. For us moms. Ayan. Ang common share, how do they earn? Primarily sa price appreciation. Si mutual funds, price appreciation. Then si REITs naman, dividends as primary. Pero meron din naman siyang price appreciation. Now, what are you investing in? Pag common shares, companies. Pag funds, group siya, either local or global stocks. Pag REITs naman, real estate. Now, these are the advantages. Pag common shares, you partner with companies. Pag mutual funds, you participate in a diversified investment. Pag REITs naman, you participate in rental income. Now, as what I've mentioned, common shares is good for active and patient moms. Mutual funds for practical moms. REITs naman for practical and patient moms. Oh. Ang tanong, alin dyan ang best investment? Ang sagot, depende yan sa'yo. Can you invest on all? Yes, definitely. Depends on your budget as well. Dahil kanina, pinag-usapan natin, long-term and consistent. So if you choose one, please be consistent with one investment first. If you have extra money, saka tayo mag-invest dun sa iba. Okay? Choose one first. Commit to one first. Ayan. So why moms can become great investors? Number one, moms think ahead. Think long-term. 2, moms are hardworking. We are consistent in what we do. Number 3, moms are resourceful and we make wise decisions. I hope you remember this, and I hope you remind yourself, okay, I'm resourceful, I think long-term, and I'm consistent. Bakit? Para at least ma-remind natin pag nag-invest tayo, okay, I have to think long-term, I have to be consistent, and I have to choose wisely. Ayan. Wait, ayan, okay. There is no way to be a perfect mom. We all know that. But there are a million ways to be a great one. So if you have decided, or maybe you're already in that action phase na, o sige, mag-i-invest na ako. Sige, simulan na natin. I hope you start with us, and I hope you partner with us, COL Financial. And let me introduce our company. We are 22 years old in this business, and we have more than 480,000 clients trusting COL Financial. And we have 111 billion pesos in customer assets, meaning ganun kadami nag-i-invest sa amin. And guess what? We're also listed in the Philippine Stock Exchange. Therefore, we are regulated and closely monitored by the Philippine Stock Exchange and the Securities and Exchange Commission. Therefore, dapat may maganda din dapat ang aming integridad for us to be able to continue with this business. And in one platform, you can buy stocks, you can buy mutual funds, you can buy REITs. In one platform. Wala ka nang iisipin. And our mission is we believe that every Filipino deserves to be rich. And I believe every mom who's here, who joined us, you deserve to become rich. Your family, you deserve to become rich. I hope you start investing, and I hope you start doing something now. Diba? Kasi tayo mga major influencers sa ating mga kabahayan. Ayan. And how can we help you? Alam nyo, we have a very dynamic team. I would like to honor all my teammates kasi sobrang sipag nila kahit nag-shift kami ng work from home. We're online, we're hardcore and online. Therefore, we will answer you even if hindi pa kami open. We have a great customer support team. We can guide you and help you. Makikita nyo lahat doon ng mga, pag tinanong nyo, anong okay na REIT? Meron kami recommended dyan. We'll be able to help you with that one. And kanina na-mention ko yung consistency, yung peso cost averaging. Itong automated investing, we have this easy investment program wherein you just have to plug in once lang. Plug in, magkano? 5,000. Bibili ako ng REIT every month for 2 years. One-time plug in, automated na yan. It's very affordable kasi for you to be able to open an account, to activate your COL account, it's just minimum of 1,000 pesos. Noon, naabutan ko pa yan ng 25. Yung naging 10,000, yung naging 5,000. Ngayon, 1,000 na lang, guys. Makaka-activate na tayo ng COL account. It's a one-stop shop because you don't have to think about diversifying. You can already buy everything in one platform. So if you wish to open an account, ako ang isa-suggest ko sana sa inyo. Since I'm a mom, I'm biased with investing. What I did to my 2 kids, buntis pa lang ako, lahat ng mga nagbibigay ng mga regalo na para sa aming mga anak, meron na yung account sa COL. So you just have to choose one parent to open an in-trust for account. Primary si mommy or si daddy, secondary yung pangalan ng anak. Tapos, gumawa na kami ng account, pinasok namin lahat ng bigay ng ninong at ninang. Lahat ng monetary gifts, hindi namin hinawakan, diretso yan sa COL account. And what we did, we invested for our kids. We started with one investment, and now we have diversified dahil nga every single year for 5 years, dahil 5 years old na yung anak namin isa, for 3 years yung isa, it's been growing and we are maximizing the power of compounding. Kahit short period of time, sulit na siya for our kids. And I hope you do the same. If you don't have an account yet, I suggest you open a joint account with your husband para makikita nyo in one platform, dalawa na kayo makakita ng investments nyo. And you'll be able to keep track of it. Diba? Usually, yun naman medyo yun ang mga tanong parang paano makikita ng ni husband? O, iti mag-joint account ka na. Para hindi na kayo mahirapan kung ano yung pwede nating magiging problema dahil hindi niya nakikita. Ayan, okay. Ayan na. Ayan, okay. Since I was not able to share with you all the details, I would love to invite all of you to please join our webinars. We have a webinar on REITs. We have a webinar for about stock market. We recently had a webinar for mutual funds para mas maintindihan nyo in detail lahat ng mga investments na yun because there are a lot to consider. I hope you check our upcoming webinars this June. Go to bit.ly/call events 2022. Ayan, makikita nyo doon and you can register for these webinars. Ayan, yung marami pang mga upcoming webinars sa COL. Sana makapunta kayo dito sa link na to para you'll be able to join and understand some of the investments. Some of the webinars, ayan, for you to learn about these investments. Ayan, okay. These webinars are for free. Yes po, libreng-libre. Either you're a COL account or not COL account, libre po itong webinar. So you can attend 3 times, 5 times, go ahead. And you can also invite everyone. Okay, it's very free. Okay, ayan.